Hi everyone, it's Natalie here from Sanskrit Blue, and I wanted to come and give an update about the Mariel Tarot and the New Beginnings 2020 video that kind of sparked a bunch of ideas. So if you participated in that live event, thank you so much for being there. It was so much fun, and I got a great deal out of it. So I really can't thank everyone enough. It was really exciting to be there and to have that opportunity. Another thank you to Wasima for inviting me and offering that possibility. So the next thing is that the spread that I kind of drew out rather hastily because I really didn't have a chance to mess with it and find really cool computer graphics and things to work with. The pictures that I took are both on my Instagram, and they're also in a Dropbox. I will relink all of that in this video. It's also linked to the original live stream video as well. And a couple of things that I wanted to share that are coming up. One of them is that I've also decided to put my list of keywords for the Mariel Tarot in my Dropbox as well. So if you are working with the Mariel and feeling kind of overwhelmed and you're not really sure where to start in terms of keywords or coming up with keywords, and I feel like these images are images that definitely warrant something to kind of anchor them, because I know a lot of people have expressed, a sense of being a little bit overwhelmed by this deck to begin with. There's, the images and the way that the images are drawn and pulled together vary tremendously in style and, all sorts of things. They're obviously drawn by the same artist. They're definitely of a they're obviously of the same deck, but yes, they're very rich. There's a lot going on. And it sometimes needs an anchor. I definitely found when I started working with it, I needed an anchor, not to be so overwhelmed by all of the possibilities and the information contained within. So in my, in the Dropbox, I have a PDF that has all of my keywords. That said, something I should share, they're really very much intended to go at this moment with the first edition. So this is the first edition Hierophant, and my keyword for her is benevolence. It doesn't feel quite the same for this Hierophant, and I'll tell you why. This Hierophant functions very differently in the deck for me than this one. So when I read for clients, the difference in the picture has really changed the way it's really changed the way that it reads, honestly. This one is a much more traditional Hierophant, and it therefore comes up in a much more traditional manner. This one being far, far less traditional also came up in a very less traditional manner when I read with it. So the keywords, see how they feel for you. They may work just fine. I have not come up with new keywords for, like the High Priestess in each deck is extremely different. These two could not be more different. And they function very similarly. But they also read, in terms of how I read them, they do read very differently. This one, obviously, with this fire, and the environment, the void, it greatly changes how I read with her, versus this one, which is very much water, moon, etc. They're just very different. So you may find that they work for you very, very comfortably. You may find that it just depends on how you feel reading the images and so on. Similarly, I have not changed my keywords. I don't feel like I need a keyword for this one, whereas this one had a lot more to unpack and contemplate in it. And I didn't feel, and I still don't, that it reads or functions the same way as this one. So, So I offer that. The judgment seems to me to be very similar. This one feels a little different, but they don't read differently for me. So I just thought I would offer that as well. Because those differences, they're pretty huge for some of us, especially the Hierophant. That's very significant. So that said, so that's the key words. I'm also working on a big document that includes all of my notes from the live stream, pretty much as they came to me, and as you will hear them almost verbatim read at moments in the live stream. But with a little bit of editing, and well, I call it editing and crediting. So I also credited where all of the information came from. That format isn't going to be consistent for a number of reasons, but it is definitely very straightforward, and I made sure that all of my sources were credited. And I've also been kind of writing a little bit more about working with each of those spreads. So as I've been pulling that part of it together, it also feels right to do a separate video for each of those spreads. So I will be doing a video coming up soon of the Tetragrammaton spread and the Merkaba spread and how to work with them. And then with that, I will also release the document. It's very long at the moment. I don't know if I should break it up into a couple of different documents or leave it as one. I think I'll leave it as one because it feels like all of that information kind of needs to be in the same place. So, yeah. And there's a lot more writing that's been going on as well. So I imagine there will be further videos, further information, and so forth. Okay, folks. So that's it. I'm really excited, and I can't wait to share more about each of these spreads with you. So take care, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.